Today is March 2nd, 2025. I'm here with Joe, one of the mentees, on a progress interview, and it's Sunday. And he's taking the time out of his schedule to talk to the community and share his progress. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. How's things been for you?
Very good, very good. Slow, but good. So I'm just building some accounts up, and I got some other things going on right now, and I'm busy. I can't trade every day when I want to trade,
Right.
so it's hit and miss, and just juggling a lot of things, and doing what I can when I can do it. So
Understand. Kind of in the same boat between trading and then working on my house and then coming home and making sure grandkids are where they're supposed to be. I'm pretty stretched.
very good. So how's your progress been? You want to give us a little shout out?
Well, since my last update with you, I passed the combine last week on Thursday. I had 4 days. It took me 4 days to pass it, but I had 4 green days, and I meet all the required criteria that they required, and
Wow.
went ahead and signed up for my Express account, and I was able to make a little over $500 on the first day of doing that. So I got four more to go. I'll be eligible for a payout as long as I'm green and over $200 each day.
Wow, wow. So let's get into the combine.
All
So
right,
the combine, that's with the top step, correct?
that's what top stuff. Yeah,
Okay. So it's a $50,000 combine?
it's a $50,000 combine, and had to reach $3,000 in profit without any one trade being more than 50% of that.
Very good. Very good. And it took you 4 days. It doesn't matter how long it takes you, but
No,
nice work. So without going into specific detail, how were you trading? I'm assuming I didn't see your trades, but I'm assuming you weren't gambling, right? I mean, if,
I'm trying to stick to the programs, what I'm trying to do. Looking at all the things that we look at to keep us focused on which way the market's going. Trying to trade in that direction for the most part. There's times I do step in when I see a reversal of some sort, maybe something heading in another direction. I might stick my neck out there a little bit, but most of the time I'm trading in that direction, and I'm doing all the things that I need to do to indicate what's going to go on with the market. And once I do, when I see a setup, I just go for it and I just trade it from there.
are you still
Um,
practicing on a steel chart?
I try to spend time every day. I'm not haven't been able to do that because I trade and then I go to work on the house and then I get home. I'm busy at night, and I'll be honest with you, I'm so excited, so focused on what I'm doing that if I got to get myself some downtime. Otherwise, I have a hard time sleeping at night, to be honest with you, because everything I think about is, well, the next day I'm going to trade and making sure that I do things right. And if I at night am looking at charts too late in the evening, I have a tendency to get too keyed up and don't get enough sleep. So,
Okay.
which therefore affects my next days.
So, did you think you were going to be here at this point in time?
I had no idea what to expect. The more I went through the program with you, the more confident that I got. Like my last time that I spoke with you, as far as our little interview here that we do, I told you that you asked me, one of the questions you asked me is, in that 3 months, what do you see yourself doing? I said, I'm gonna pass the combine.
And you did.
And that was a week.
Did.
A week later, I passed the combine. So it only didn't take me three
Yes.
months. It took me three. It took me a
So,
week.
just trying to give you some time, right?
I know you're like,
Trying
hey,
to give
hey,
you
slow it
some
down.
time.
I'm like, but that's the confidence that
Yeah.
I had. The
Right.
confidence that you give one, because once you start seeing the things that they just pop out, they're saying, hey, it's time to get on board. Time to get on board. And if you miss it, that's your problem. And
Yeah.
if and you gotta, once you see it, you have to trust it. That's the biggest, I think biggest thing for me was to trust in the fact that this was actually going to happen on a repeated basis. So the more I've traded, the more confident that I have gotten, and I don't really question it anymore. I know that there's times there to be in the market, and there's times not to be in the market. And there's times when you got to take a little bit of a loss, or maybe a little bit of a chunk of a loss you didn't want to take, but got to make sure that you keep yourself in the game. You got to be able to make sure that you have the ability to continue to trade and My biggest problem that I think I had coming into this was I'd get into a trade and I would think I could say, this is what the market's going to do. And I trade that way, regardless of what the market is doing. And that would always get me in trouble. And so that's my biggest problem that I've had, that I have to make sure that I am watching the market and I'm not trying to dictate to the market what it's going to do. I let the market tell me what it's going to do and I go along with it. Then I get on board.
Now let's clear that up a little bit. I completely understand what you're saying. And
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. So if you see the market that is in a bullish move and all that stuff, whatever the bullish move looks like to all
Right.
the traders out there, prior you would jump on board, and because this is what we see and this is what we ingest. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Well, yeah, or I might be thinking that this market looks like it's dying. It was on an uptrend, looks like it's going to die. It's pulling back, so I'm trading it short it, and that's what I did. I'm determined I feel like this is what it's going to do, rather than using the tools you've given me to dictate which direction the market is going, and relying on those versus my gut feeling. And sometimes that works out for you, but sometimes that's what gets you stuck in a trade, that you're afraid to take this loss, and what happens is you end up the market's not going the direction you thought it was going to go and you're in trouble.
And the key word that you said was sometimes. Sometimes it works out for you. And that's unfortunately what happens to hundreds and thousands of traders.
Exactly.
It worked out for them one or two times, and then they continue to chase that dopamine and end up losing everything that they have and have to
Yeah.
start over again. So,
The fear of losing too, I think, is my next biggest thing, is that once I get in a position, oh, I can't take this loss. And it's like, there are times when you just have to take the loss. You just have to, it's not, the market's telling you it's not going to do what you think it's going to do, or what the indicators say they're going to do. And you have to be able to say, nope, I'm going to get out and take this $150 loss and just wait for the next setup. And that to me has also opened up the window of, because if you get yourself stuck in the wrong situation, that's where you the folly is. That's where you end up losing the opportunity to trade. There's nothing sicker to watch all the setups going in the opposite direction that you're in. You can see that it's happening. You can see all the setups going in the opposite direction that you think the market's going to go, and you just sit there and watch it, and you die a slow death.
yeah. So
So
trading objectively gets rid of all of those emotions over time. Once you
yes,
learn how to master, and whatever master means, that's it.
right,
But once you learn how to increase those skills of just allowing the market to show you where it's going to go,
right,
with objective reasons, then
hmm
then you have the highest probability trade, and it's not a hit or miss. If it's a hit or miss, then someone's doing something wrong, and not following the mentorship, because
right,
it's
hmm
not hit or miss. It's a program, and it is objective trading, and the only time that we could probably get in trouble is if we're not being patient.
right,
Patience is okay, and it's not called patience for an A plus setup. It's not called over trading. It's not called guessing or intuition. It is
hmm
when the setup presents itself, take the execution without hesitation. And that setup will continue to present itself over and over again, and at different times of the day or repetitive in a row. And
hmm
when it does, go ahead and take another trade. But leverage is a big thing. Now that you're on an XFA, and congratulations, man. I was trying to give you 3 months, and you're like, no, no, this is not going to happen. And you did exactly what you said you were going to do. And what's really interesting, and it says a lot without having to say anything, and is that there's a few of you that are all reaching the same milestones and passing the combines on to the XFAs. You're all doing the same thing. I am actually teaching everyone the same thing, how I trade and how I view the market. That just solidifies. And we're talking about, a handful of people. I mean, there's other people off doing their thing and trading live and living the lifestyle they want to live. It just, as a whole, when you have a few people starting around the same time and they're all reaching the same milestones as passing their combines, going to their funded accounts. What are the odds, right? If you
Right.
really think about it, what are the odds when someone says, "Well, just take a bounce or just support and resistance or it's a fair value gap," or what are the odds of just taking, groups of people at different times, meeting the same milestones. You know, it's truly amazing, and I'm really proud of everyone because you have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work and you don't study and you don't practice on a still chart and you believe and you have to
Hmm.
believe in yourself and you have to believe in objective trading because we can all gamble at times. We can all go on tilt. I'm human. We're all human. We all make mistakes, become impatient. I'm not a robot. Nobody's a robot. I'm a lifetime student. I'm very, very proud of you, Joe, and
Oh,
very,
appreciate
very
it.
proud of you.
Appreciate it.
The conversations that we've had and you were one of many, but very, well, how would I say this? When you looked for education, you truly did your homework. I knew that you really, really cared about your next step in the
Hmm.
trading career. I really, really knew that, and you had to make the decision because there's nothing that I could say that would convince you, and I'm not here to convince anyone.
Right.
I know I can trade. How do you tell somebody you can trade? I get it. There's a lot of about 99% of the people on the internet, in my opinion, are fake, and I'll stick by that. I believe it. I see it, and that's just my opinion, and I can see it.
Well, I think sometimes myself, now that I kind of are looking from the other side of this being successful, whereas for years I wasn't successful. After being taught by you how to look at the market differently, how to see the market differently, how to analyze the whole thing, how to prepare, how to when you're going into the day to trade, you know what you're doing. You're looking at the market in a very objective way. And after having other courses and other training and other things I've read, you I begin to realize that most of them don't know what they're doing, and they're good marketers versus good traders, and it's you hate to see people going down the wrong roads and stuff, but at the end of the day, like you said, you got to do your own due diligence. You have to go out there and get a chance on whatever it is that's out there. And my honest with you, I've always hoped for years that I could find somebody that I could knew what they were doing that would take the time to teach me how to do this. And I'd be willing to pay the money to be able to get that training if I found somebody that I really believed knew what they were doing. And I found that in you. And it, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, and so to speak. Because I mean, I've been in this probably since the first of the year. Maybe I'm not even sure how long it's been since I started the mentorship. It was after the new year, I believe. So it's been less than 2 months that I've gone from not trading a demo account, doing really well in the demo account. In fact, I passed in the demo account. I passed the $150,000 challenge. I made
That
11,000.
was after January, right?
That was in January. Well, that was actually like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't think I ever told you this, but I passed that the demo account they set you up to do the exact same thing you would do in a challenge. And within 3 days, within 4 days, I had passed that 100 to $150,000 challenge, which is you got to get to $9,000 with no more than one trade couldn't be more than 50%. And I passed that one. That's something I forgot to tell you. I already passed that one. And I'm like, so I just, after doing that, I just knew that. And then literally less than 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm passing a live one and I'm off green. It was a rocky day, I'll be honest with you. I was nervous and I was wanting not to mess up. And I held on to a couple. Almost got up to $900 at one point early on. And then I held on a few.
Take it, take it. Because
Yep.
the reason I say take it is here's a thing for the traders is
Yep.
scalping is not swing trading. Call it whatever you want. Holding,
Right.
a long time. When you're on a lower time frame, it's okay. It's okay to take the profits. And the reason being is because you have to be able to continue to take these profits over and over and over again. And it might be a $900 profit and you take it. or it might be $150. Okay, it all adds up over time. It's positive paper cuts, right? It's
Right.
positive paper cuts that can work against you.
Well,
But
and
the
I
reason being is if you become, and you are, if you become a very highly skilled trader over time, you will be able to go to any of these prop firms, I believe. I don't know all the rules, but I believe if regulations come into the prop firm industry, that what's going to happen is there's going to be competition in their pricing, the majority of them. And they're going to have to really tighten up the rules even more to where they're almost the same. It's like,
right.
okay, do I want to go and eat at this steakhouse or I want to go to that steakhouse? And they give me a better product over here, but I have to pay a little bit more. Traders are going to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Better product, and you're going to pay a little
Yeah.
more because you know how to trade. Gamblers, once again, are always looking. If you see somebody talk about pricing, it's the best price, it's the best bang for your buck, and blah, blah, blah. I just give pause and say, well, if you know how to trade, it really doesn't matter. So taking the profits, learning to trade, racking those trades up, it's not called overtrading. Only trade when you see the setups and you understand the movement and the direction of travel of the market. And you continue to do that, whether it be 5 trades today, one tomorrow, 9 the next day, or 2 day, or not trade at all. You're busy. The market is always going to be there, whether the news is positive or negative. Who
Negative. Yeah.
cares? Who cares?
Yep. You don't care.
Because understand how to trade the market.
Mhm.
Therefore, what you're doing and what you're practicing now that you're on an XFA, which is a live funded sim account, however they want to say it. I screw up on all the terminology. I screw up on my
Yeah.
videos. I screw up on everything. I like to trade. All this other stuff in my head, it makes my head hurt. Really, it does. It makes my head hurt.
Hmm.
Your skill is going to get better each and every day. So now you're in the XFA. I just said this to another mentee is now you need to gain practice in that. It's not any different. It's just another word that's in your head. You might have a little bit of anxiety. That's normal. You might not want to lose. That's normal. But you're going to find out that what you have today, you're going to have in the future also. It's just not as much. Not as much. And that skill is going to get better and better each day. And you'll be able to trade anywhere. You'll be able to trade live accounts. You'll be able to trade other prop firms. It depends on how you want to leverage your money. And we've talked about that before. So continue to just work on the skill. And in Top Step, you need so many green days above a certain amount. I wouldn't suggest honing in and thinking about that. I would suggest just trading and allow the market to give you that money. Attack that
Yep.
market, take it from them. If you're busy and you got to go, let it go. Put your account on. I've been doing this, and I've never done it in my life, but someone showed it to me and I heard about it, but I just locked the account. But I'll tell
Hmm.
you, if I don't lock that account up, I'm like, this is not enough. I need some more, you know? So this is
Well,
not.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. When you're sitting there, you come home, you're not doing nothing. You know the market's open. You're like, I could be making money right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's take a look and see what's going on. Let's just take a look. And then you see a setup, and you're like, trade this. I got to trade this.
Yes, and hopefully it's not after hours, and because we did that little experiment, I'm like,
Right.
I don't like trading these hours, but I'm going to show you what the market does. And you see, this is a big thing that I want to get out is I don't know why, and I think prop firms are getting away from it, but you have a lot of groups that they'll have trading groups and they'll have streaming live and stuff like that. I am
Yeah.
very surprised that the prop firms allow this to someone to stream at the same time and trade. Now, I don't know
Hmm.
if streams are delayed or not, but that's not helping. I get it. Stream and that's your gig and you're doing it for entertainment, the community trading. But having other people take your trades and stuff like that, I'm not so sure the prop firm's happy about that stuff. And and all the mentees know that I don't trade and I don't call out trades for any of the mentees.
No,
I want you to
no.
learn. I'm going to show you how to fish for your family, and it's up to you to go out there and catch that fish.
Right. And ultimately, if you have any pride in your work and what you do, you want to know how to do it yourself. You want to be a professional, whatever it is you're trying to do, you want to be a professional, and you can't be riding on someone else's coattails and call that success because it's not.
Not even if you see it, not even if you watch me. There's so many,
Yep.
and I don't remember if you asked me or not. Hey, could I just watch you how you do it? Could I just
Hmm.
see how you do this stuff? But I understand it could be excitement or just to see, but that's not going to give you anything. That's really not going to teach a person anything. I would rather when I ask someone, hey, how do I do this? They go, oh, here, I'll do it. No, 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 no. I asked, how do I do it? I want
Right.
to be able to put the pin together. I want to be able
Hmm.
to just explain to me how I do it. That way, because I'm a visual person. That's probably why I look at still charts. I'm a visual person, right? And I learn this way. Everyone learns different, but I don't want someone to do it for me, but I want to know exactly how to do it. And then once I fumble through it over, time after time, I'm eventually going to get better.
Right.
And then when I feel that I'm comfortable, like yourself, I don't tell you, I never told you go out and get a combine. I didn't tell you to go out and get, an XFA account, because I am really about the skill and I'm not sympathetic. You didn't pay me to be sympathetic and show sympathy, for you not passing, or if you made a big mistake, we went over it in a hardline way and said, listen, this is what we have to do. This is how we approach the market.
People need to go out and make those mistakes because you don't really learn until you make your own mistakes. You need to know how it feels. You need to go through the whole process. Uh, and that process will get you to where you want to be. And it becomes more clear as to why I don't take this trade versus I take this trade. You really don't learn that by watching somebody else because you're just waiting. You have no stress on you. You're just waiting for that person to tell you what to do. And you're just parroting what that person is saying or doing. And if you have to make the decisions, you have to get to the point where the stress is on you to make the decision. And making those decisions is the only way you can learn how to do this, period. I mean, you have to be willing to go out there and do it. And it's way more enjoyable to do it that way than it is to try to have somebody coach you everything you're supposed to do along the way. You give a framework. One of the things I remember you telling me is like my job is to tell you, show you, and I'll have some guardrails up there. And when you get past those guardrails, I'll try to move you back into the where you need to be. He goes, but at the end of the day, you got to be trading in between those guardrails that I set up for you, and you have to go out and do it. Now, I was frustrated. I don't think I asked you to trade, but I asked you one time. I think I'm gonna do a combine, and you're like, I can't tell you whether you're ready to do that or not. That's up. You have to come to that point and realize. And now, I'll be honest with you. Initially, I was like a little frustrated, but now I can see more now. Like it's not your place. It's like you have to do this enough to where you feel comfortable doing it, and when you know it's time, you know it's time. So, and I agree with that now.
And you know what? The majority of the mentees asked the same thing. They do, and it's just confirmation, of am I ready? Well,
Right.
once again, I'm not going to be. I try not to be sympathetic to. I understand they want to, but I'm not going to give in and say, yeah, I believe you're ready, and when they're actually not, right? I mean, I don't know if they
Right.
are or they're not. I don't know how somebody can tell me that they're on the charts 1 hour a night or 2 hours a night, or I'm getting this and I'm doing everything that you're asking me, and keep explaining. I'm only listening to what you're telling me, but is it true? I'm not second guessing. I'm not saying it's not true. But if all of those things are happening, then you should know whether or not you're ready. If you can identify the market and you understand
Right.
what I taught you to look at it objectively. If you just want to go in there and push buttons, and think that because a lot of people will get bit at first when they go through the program, and that, the first 2 day event, and then it's extended beyond that. When they go through the first 2 days, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. This is what I've been waiting for," And then they
Right.
get they get themselves in the trouble because the gambling mentality comes in, or some other things that they've learned on the internet, or their habits. It takes, a while to get rid of bad habits. And to
Oh yeah.
start from zero, it's going to take a while. Not that it's a bad thing, but we want to practice what works, the good things.
Right.
How long is that going to take for someone? I don't have no idea. It's not going to take years, and it's not going to take, well, you just need, 5, 10 years of trading, and you're going to get it in one day. You're going to have an aha moment. No, the aha moment is when you have a 2-day session and you learn something that no one's ever taught you.
That's the aha moment right there.
That's the aha moment,
Yeah.
is when a trader truly knows how to trade.
I think there's probably two aha moments. The first one is one we just talked about, is when you have the 2-day event and you get the aha moment. And then when you go out there and you see it happening when you're doing the still charts, and then you go out there and do it live, and you see you get another aha going, he is correct. This really is working, but it's
This
like
is a program. This is a program.
this really is objective. I can do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. And then you start to doubt your, I know you said
Oh,
you put everyone is the same. It's like, another mentee asked the other day, he says, am I the only one, like this? I'm like, no. If I could, and I don't have discords for reasons and stuff like that. I take my mentorships, seriously. Everyone is on a different level as far as not better or worse than anyone. Just they all have different questions. And if I feel that it's a question that's not on a personal note, but a question that, or an answer I give that could be beneficial to everyone, even though they didn't answer it, I will share that with everyone also.
right, right.
So, because there is no stupid question, there is no stupid question, but they all put pressure on themselves as, God, I hope I can get this. I hope I can get this. I hope I can get this. And I'm like, just chill out. You got this. It's going to come with a little bit of time. Keep doing what I'm asking you to do, and then you cannot unsee it in the market.
No, no, it's like, and you say, once you see it, it's not like it's rocket science. It just,
No.
you're like, crap, it's been there the whole time, and I cannot believe I did not see this. Because
It's
it's
hard
pretty
to see if
simple.
you don't know what you're looking
Right,
for,
you're right. I mean, you're like,
right?
gosh, I should have been smart enough. This should have jumped out and
Just
whacked me
smart.
inside the head, because they literally do that. They literally jump out and go, all aboard.
That's why I took 20s of thousands of hours.
Right.
Okay. And that's what the mentorship is for, is to streamline those who really want to trade. There's so much, the market is a language, it's a foreign language, and I've really, really studied the market. And I was able to get to where we're at today and give back to the
And I'll
community.
tell you what, I'm the beneficiary of your hard work. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I had to put in a lot of hard work, but nothing compared to what you did to bend this learning curve the way that you have. Is I am the beneficiary of your hard work and the dedication that you put into becoming a professional controller that's focused on doing things the right way, not gambling, and having a skill set that allows you to objectively trade the market. And until now, all those things are just sales slogans, marketing slogans. But with you, they're not. These are facts. These are real tangible things that you can just about set a clock to. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, and I appreciate that. That's the best thing. The most important thing for me is to change one life at a time, and whether it's 5 or 6 people at a time, over a period of time, it doesn't
Right.
matter. It's not about the money. I've said this numerous times, but my time is valuable, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
if I taught somebody for free, they wouldn't really value that. I know that personally.
Well, yeah. You got to. There's different reasons why. One, you paid for an education where you've gotten yourself to, and that deserves, people need to be willing to pay for that. Secondly, it separates people who are serious or not serious.
I agree.
Honestly, if you really want this to happen, you don't have the money, then I would work my tail off to save every dime I could to be able to get a mentorship, because you don't. you can trade in these prop firms and make money without necessarily having a lot of money. And all you need to do is get the right training. And so you need to have the key that unlocks this vehicle, and that key is a mentorship with Breathing with the Markets.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, Joe. And
This is truth. It's just, it is what it is. Facts speak for themselves in as far as from what's transpired in my trading career.
I'd like to say to all the traders out there that anyone can show you, maybe there's other people out there that are doing the same thing and they could show you something, but if you don't put in the work yourself, if it's a hunch or intuition, or I think, when we say, I think the market's going to do this, I hear it. I've been in lots of discords where I've watched people have an opinion about the market. And if we have an opinion about the market, just don't trade. I would just suggest don't trade because our opinions don't matter in the market. And just because news or oil or all of these deals around the world or things that were supposed to happen that didn't happen, that doesn't control the market. The market is a language of its own, and it might speed up the process, to go long or short. But if you don't have the tools and the knowledge to understand that the market was set up to go short in the beginning, you're going to lose everything that you have eventually. It is gambling. But the most important thing is that each and every person that makes it, or such as yourself, Joe, you actually put in the work. You put in the work. You challenged yourself. It was you against the market. You took some information, you believed in it, you verified it, you went back to look at it, and the hours and days that you thought about it before you went to sleep or the practice, you 100% did this on your own. You took the steps to seek out education. You did your homework. You were at a different confident level. Join up with me and believed in that maybe I could teach you something that you don't know. And you took that risk. It is a risk. The
Yes, no
market's a
doubt.
risk. So,
Hmm.
but 100% you did this. You did exactly what you said you were going to do. And the only way you can do that is not by me showing you the trades to take. You did it on your own. You did it. You did
Yep.
it. And I'm so proud of that, is that you could show somebody how to fish, but they need to go out there and fish.
Yep.
They need to learn. They need to mess up. They need to
Yeah.
come back to me and say, hey, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And we go over that in detail. And you go back to the drawing board and you continue to work. Your skill level is only going to get better and better each day. Words can't describe how I feel for all of the mentees and yourself. This is like big progress. This isn't little. This is a big deal because you didn't gamble to pass. Anybody can gamble. And when you run out of money, that's it. That's it. And I've always said, I don't know if I said this to you, but I've said it to other mentees. Is basically you want to learn the hard way or the easy way. And the easy way would be gambling, right? The hard way is old school, the old school architect where you don't have the computer program doing it yourself. You know how to draw and to do all the lines and the foundation and everything that makes it work, right? Structurally. And that's what I believe a mentorship is friendship, a trading family, and a coach, someone that you can depend on, someone when you have a question that they don't go, well, you're just going to learn that over time, or, you know, I don't know. But if you have an opinion, I can't answer that. There's been numerous times where you said, Rich, would you have taken that trade? What would you have
Yeah.
done in that situation? And what did I say?
You really say you can't say. You have to be in the moment to be able to make the determination where you would have or wouldn't have. It's easy to look at a chart and say, yeah, I would have taken it because you can already tell that it was going to make money or something like that. But you pretty much don't tell. You don't really answer those questions like that. You
And it
don't.
might
You just
frustrate you, right? It might.
right. Because initially, when you're unsure, you're trying to get like, this is what I'm thinking. Do you agree with that? And you're like, And it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. The only thing that really matters at this point is what you think. You got to make the decision. You got to learn from it, pro or con, and then you grow and you move on, and eventually you'll get to the point where you're trading like Rich.
Yeah, and you're fast. You're fast. Too much.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, people are hitting the 2 month mark. It's great. And it's a third party. It's a third party. They keep the stats.
Oh
They have
yeah.
the program. You
Hmm.
can't, go into the computer and adjust everything. It is what it is. Your name is on the certificate. Yeah, nobody can take that away from you. No one
Right.
can take it away from you ever. Nobody can. You own it. You earned it. You did it. Congratulations, Joe. Man,
Appreciate it.
congratulations. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the community out there
Um,
about what your thoughts were in the process of, maybe the combine or the XFA or whatever suggestions or input you might have?
I mean, the only thing is probably pretty much what I've been saying is that um, if you happen to be watching this video or you've been following Rich, you've found the right place. So do anything you can to get to the point where you can get the right training because it makes all the difference. I've been trading off and on for over 20 something years. Made a little bit of money, lost a little bit of money, and never felt confident like I knew what I was doing until I got mentorship from Rich, and I get excited. I get up every morning and I'm excited for what I get to go trade, and it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's a blast, and I enjoy it. So just you gotta take the leap, and if you're gonna take a leap and you're gonna spend money on any training for trading, I would say you've come to the right place with Rich.
Well, thank you, Joe, and I wish you well, and we will obviously stay in touch, and
Oh yeah.
we will continue to have sessions. Success is not the end result.
Well, no, it's like I have been good so far. I can have a bad day tomorrow. I've always got to keep myself in check, go back and do the basics, go back and make sure that I've got myself centered with all the things I need to be thinking about when I start trading. Otherwise, this this vehicle can run into the ditch pretty quick, and I can't get overconfident. I don't want to be like the golfer, like when I used to golf a lot and I'd have a birdie and a par and a par and a birdie. I'm thinking, hey, I figured this out. And then I have a triple bogey, quadruple bogey. I don't want to get overconfident. I believe in what I can do, but I do believe that I got to stay humble. I got to stay focused on what has got me to this point and not focus on my successes because my successes come from hard work and I have to maintain that type of mentality to continue to have the success that I've had.
And remember, do not over leverage.
Right, right.
Base hits, base hits, base hits, base hits. Do not over leverage, and you will get there. And with the mentality of not over leveraging, you can make just as much money. And this isn't about money; it's about the a reward from a skill. Whatever that might be. It might be a green day, it might be a break-even day, and it could be a loss that day. But
Yeah.
let me explain. Let me ask you this question, Joe, and then we'll go ahead and let you go. I know you're busy. How about if you lost, okay, remember how we used to feel or traders feel or how you used to feel when you lost or you lost one or two in a row or just lost in general. When you lose now, what's the difference? What's the thought that you have? When I lose, I feel like no big deal. I know what I'm doing.
Hmm.
I haven't lost anything. I haven't lost my skill.
Right.
Kind of hard for me to ask that question, like,
Well, I think at this
skill.
stage, I still get down. I still get frustrated, but particularly when I did quickly identify what I did wrong. I slip back into an old habit, or I slip back into a situation where that I shouldn't have because I did slip into that gambling mode or I did do something wrong. That's what I get disappointed about. As far as feeling bad that I lost money or feeling bad that I for the reasons why I did before, I don't. It's like it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't see it the same way. I focus on the skill part of it. I know that I have the tools to rectify whatever my when I do make mistakes. And even you say you at times still make mistakes. And so it's not a matter of that there's going to be a trade right around the corner, and you just dust
You know,
yourself off, get back up, and keep going.
pick up where you left off, right?
I think in time that'll get to where it's more of just it's It's just the way the market moves. One thing that when you first start trading, when you're new, you always think the market, when you dip your toes into the market, you think the market is aware of you and everything it does is trying to knock you out of the market. And you think you take everything personal. And you think that it's, back in the day when I used stop losses, they hit my stop loss. I did this. It was all a personal thing. And at the end of the day, what I think also I've learned is that it's not personal. The market doesn't know you're there, doesn't care that you're there. It's just going to do what it's going to do. When it moves against you and it doesn't, you get in this trade and you have to get out, it wasn't personal. It's just the way the market was going to move, just the way it's going to go. And you need to get yourself centered again so that you can just read the market correctly the next time. Or whatever have you be. It's just like you have to just not take things personal and not get down. You just regroup, get back on the horse and get going.
So are you using a stop loss? Did you use a stop loss on your?
In the before, I used to use it, in the past, and that it always would be like you just feel terrible that day when, I put in this stop, I put in this trade, it was perfect trade, and then it hit my stop loss, and then it went the way it was supposed to go. And you just take it personal. It's like a slap in your face, and in reality, the market's just doing what the market's going to do. And it's like nowadays, now I don't. I enter a trade, I just trade it. I don't put in a stop loss.
Very good. You joined the no stop loss club.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, initially that's pretty scary.
But like I said, if you know the direction of travel and you allow the market to breathe, you're going to be okay.
That's right.
Thank you, Joe. I wish
Good
you
thing,
well.
man.
Train hard. The skill will get better each and every day. And again, slow and go, and do not over leverage your new XFA. And we will see you soon. Peace,
All right,
train.
man. Take care.
Thank you. Take care, Joe.